afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Con Todo de Todo with HSI Excellence. We are really excited to be here today to talk about small business development with a couple of our success coaches from the team. Go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Hi, everybody. I'm Alejandra.
Hi, everyone. I'm Maria.
Great. Thank you for joining us today. I'm really excited to interview both of you because I happen to know that you are both budding entrepreneurs yourself and on a small business development journey. And so today I would like to just ask a few questions to get to know more about your ideas, what you've done so far to get your business off the ground, and then of course share that with all of you. So Alejandra, I'm going to ask you the first question. So please do tell me about your small business venture and what is your topic or theme? What is it? Tell me more about it.
So me and my business partner started a quinceañera choreography business. We used to work at a dance studio together, kind of grew a little relationship with all of the girls who were just so happening to go into their new coming of age era, I guess. So they were all going to need choreographers, and they built such a good relationship with us that they wanted us to choreograph for them and everything. And we decided to take off with that and turn it into an actual business. So we do choreography, not just for quinceañeras. We want to do other events as well, but that's where we're starting right now.
Awesome. Very cool. And how about you, Maria? Can you tell me about your small business venture?
Yeah, sure. So I actually want to start a stationery business. So things like bookmarks, notebooks, and like cute sticky notes and things like that. That's kind of what I'm working with right now.
Very neat. Okay. So the next thing I'd like to know is what steps have you taken so far in starting your business and getting the word out? Tell me more about that.
Yeah, for us, we use a lot of social media, TikTok and Instagram mainly. We record a lot of our practice sessions. Like I said, we built the relationship with the girls so everyone's comfortable with each other. And we record or vlog all of our practice. We kind of compile it into a small, 1 minute to 2 minute video. And we've been posting a lot of that. And that's what's been helping us get a lot of traction from outside clients. And then also business cards. We made business cards and we leave them at the salons that we've gone to, and they ask for them and everything. So
awesome. Great idea.
Good. So my business is a little bit different than yours, which is totally fine. I feel like that's something I want to mention to our students too, is that depending on what field you're in, where you start is going to differ for sure. So for me, since I do want to design, I want to have my own brand, my own characters that I use in my stationery business. I'm working on those designs right now. It's going pretty well, I would think. It's a lot of, sketching up designs and figuring out what I like, what I don't like. And then, so it's kind of where I'm at right now. And then also looking into vendors to produce those products I want as well.
Okay. So it sounds like you are both pretty well along at different stages, certainly, but definitely making progress, which is fantastic. So I want to know about challenges. So, of course, any new endeavor, there's going to be challenges. There's going to be things to overcome. So can you talk about any challenges to date that you've had to overcome as far as starting your business?
So I think my biggest challenge is me, actually. It's doubting myself and my ability to make products that I think are actually useful, that people are going to enjoy. They say you're your own worst critic. I think I'm learning that a lot more now, especially when it comes down to designing, a character and things like that. Is a character cute enough? Are they unique enough? Things like that. I get really stuck in my head thinking about, why does my design deserve to be recognized by a bunch of people compared to another artist's, for example? Things like that, I think I really get stuck at thinking about. But I think to combat that, I think of all the other artists that I aspire, to be like, and that they were in that position once before. And, they continued and they prospered. So,
Certainly. They found their way.
With us.
I think for me, it's the same thing, the self-doubt, just because when you're starting a small business, it is kind of brings your anxiety up a little bit, and you just start to think and doubt yourself. Another thing was we already had that base clientele that we were working with, but reaching other people that don't know us, that's something that really worried us a lot. But the social media does help because they see our personality, they see the type of work that we put together, and we know that what we're offering is kind of different. So do they want that different, or do they want to stick to what they're used to seeing in other quinceañeras is what we worry about, but kind of just have to keep going with it. So we do,
I can imagine that the guests and the audience that are at the events that you've choreographed are probably a great opportunity for you, because they're going to see your final product.
Yes.
And for you, Maria, I'm sure anyone who looks at your artwork or who you seek out feedback could probably provide you with some helpful tips and strategies, or ways to reaffirm that what you're doing is beautiful. And I've seen it; it is beautiful artwork. So I already know that it's possible for you to overcome those things. All right. So as far as finances go, because you do have to make some type of investment, right? Usually you start with your own money or your time, which is also considered an investment. Talk to me about any type of financial investments you've made, or other types of investment that you've contributed so far.
I think for us, it was a lot of the materials and like tools that we use in terms of speakers and all that stuff. We started off with our own that we've already had, but they only work so much, so we have to continue. And sometimes you have to bite the bullet and you have to spend money to end up making the money, especially if you want something that's good quality. So buying speakers is something that we have invested in, as well as starting to think of other things that, now that we've done a couple of quinceañeras already, we're starting to see like, oh, these are our signature things that we like to add into our dances. We would want to continue doing that, but we would need the materials so then we can offer it ourselves rather than hoping that they have them or making them purchase it. So we're starting to think about what we would want to invest in to have, and storage and all that stuff. So we're getting there. And that's like the next phase that we're going to go into, where we have to start utilizing our money rather than just like
your time.
Yeah.
And your creativity.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of brings up a good point, is that throughout your every stage of starting a business, there are financial obstacles you have to face. For example, right now, like I said, I'm in like the designing phase and like figuring out what products I want to create. Even that I have to think about. Is it better to make my own products, to buy printers myself or things like that? Or is it better to outsource from like a third-party vendor? So these are things I have to consider, and you're figuring it out, what works best for you. It's going to differ, obviously, but
I think that really depends on the final product. So what is it that you're trying to achieve? Is it a prototype, or is it ready for delivery? So you're looking at all of the options. All right. So I'm curious to know, we did talk about audience, and we talked about some marketing strategies that you might try. For your business or your product, what would be, or who would be your target audience, and how would you reach them?
So for us, everyone within the culture, I'm sure, thinks about a quinceañera at some point. Us specifically, we have been working with girls that have dance experience already, and that's our target audience, because sometimes when you're working with a choreographer that's already been in the business for a while, they have their set routine and like the level of dance that they're willing to teach and produce for you, versus us, we wanted to change it and have it be like a show rather than just one dance for them. So our target audience just so happened to turn into dancers with dance experience that want to put on a show rather than just one simple dance or one waltz or a surprise dance in one specific category. And the social media helps. One, having our girls that have danced with us for years now, spreading the word, but also the social media helps to show what it is that we're putting together for them. And then at the end, they can see they see the whole journey, but at the end, they see the final results once all of it comes together. So
absolutely. So your product is the intended marketing tool, right?
Yes.
Fantastic.
For me, it's a little bit different. Obviously, we're kind of different businesses. But social media helps a lot, obviously. For me, once I have my design set up and things like that, I plan on doing animation videos with my characters. And also, I'm sure we've all seen those videos of small businesses, either packaging orders or, artists on TikTok and like Instagram, they do, oh, watch me create this design and things like that. So that's what I plan on doing. My intended audience is anyone really that wants to make their like daily study life or their office life a little bit brighter with cute, stationery and things like that. And then also I intend on having designs that speak to my cultural heritage as well. So I would say I would like anyone, to bring a little bit of their culture into their studies and also into their office life too. So
Yeah, absolutely. It's beautiful. So here's the big question. So where do you see your business in the next 5 years? If you had accomplished all of your goals and achieved every milestone along the way, what would your business look like in 5 years?
I would want to have a salon one day with a dance studio attached to it. So then they can do the practices there. And then also they can do their big final practices in the actual area that it's going to be. We do like to do that, but not every place is going to allow us to, or it won't accommodate to everyone's schedule. So it would be nice for them to be all within the same vicinity, but not only just do choreography, do event management and planning and decorations and all of that all in one. So turn it into a whole event planning business.
Wow, it's like a package
Yes.
for your quinceañera needs or weddings.
Weddings, quinceañeras, family events, whatever you want.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sounds beautiful.
yeah,
Yeah.
I will, to join mine.
Please, you too. Yes, you too.
My goal in 5 years, that's a long time from now. I'd like to have my own shop, like in-person shop with my, my designs, my products and things like that. I've seen a lot of smaller stationery shops now actually reach out to community artists and things like that, and they have their products in store. That would be really, I think, maybe a 2-year goal instead of a 5-year goal.
Yeah.
But yeah.
A milestone for sure. Fantastic. Okay, so what advice do you have for other students, students in our program, other students close to us, that what would you give them, knowing what you know about the startup process? What advice would you give them?
My advice would be to just get started, honestly, because you're your own worst critic sometimes, and that can hold you back from the process. Yes, building a foundation is very important, and luckily now on our Canvas page, we have a whole module set up for you to get you started with the logistics of it and everything, but also just getting started with advertising yourself and posting yourself and putting yourself out there. There's going to be people that want to support you. Allow them to support you, and don't be afraid of like setting yourself up as a professional either. I think that's something that also kind of worried us, at least in the very beginning, of like, oh, I'm afraid because I know you, I don't want to have to charge you. But luckily we were blessed with people that are like, no, we're going to pay for your services. And that helped us also take ourselves a lot more seriously and helped us continue to push forward. And we're learning as we go. It's going to be an as you go process. So as long as you get started, that's what that'll help you for sure.
Yeah. And my advice is, pretty much the same. Get started. I would just say get started wherever you feel comfortable. Sometimes it's hard to sit down and say, oh, I have to look at the financial side of things. Like that was my biggest thing. I was like, oh no, it can be discouraging sometimes when you're trying to figure something out. So I always looked at the things that made me want to start it in the first place, which was my designs and my art. That's what I am working on now in hopes to, continue having that passion for it and to drive myself to complete it. So
That's really good advice. Start where you feel comfortable and build on that.
Yes.
And keep taking, steps that move you closer to achieving your goal. So you bring up a great point. So I do want to let everyone know we are hosting an event this upcoming Monday, September 16th at Phoenix College in the Bullpit Auditorium. We will be partnering with the Arizona Hispanic Chamber of Commerce as well as the Small Business Development Center. And we'll be delivering an orientation which provides really anyone at any stage of starting their own business an overview of how to prepare, what you would need to get started, and also some resources that can help support you along the way. So the event will begin at 6 p.m. on September 16th at Phoenix College. Please do bring your family members. Please bring your brothers or sisters or anyone who's also on a journey of starting their own small business. There's a lot of opportunity, untapped opportunity, I think, for students, young people at any age, really, to explore starting their own business and become more independent in their finances and less reliant on the job market. And even if it's not your only job or your only business, I think there's still a ton of value in adding on a small business to your financial profile, right?
Yes.
Well, very good. And I appreciate you both sharing your ideas and sharing your progress. It's incredible to hear. And I'm proud that we have 2 young budding entrepreneurs in our staff with HSI Excellence.
Thank you, Alyssa.
Thank you. Thank you.